Hello and welcome to Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets, the playoff edition, Super Wildcard Weekend. I am your host, Nick, and alongside me are my three other hosts in order. Sir, how we doing?
I'm all right, man. Big weekend coming up.
That's it. Tim, how we doing? He nodded okay, so he's doing great.
Yeah, well, sure he says my camera's too high, but I think it looks terrific right there. You get to see the whole background of the room. You can actually see me this week. Don't know if that's a good or a bad thing for you guys. For me, I think I look fine, but we're doing okay, man. Got our drink ready. Welcome to the playoffs, the rest of you guys. I'll just sit here and continue my misery. So, cheers.
There you go. Tim's just here so he doesn't get fined. And Scott, how we doing?
Great. If you would have told us three out of the four of us, our teams would be in the playoffs, I think we all would have picked us three. So everything kind of worked out.
Yeah, well, I think Eagles would have been in just because there was no way anybody would have picked the Jets, but it's not like the Eagles were really projected to do.
Hey, at the end of the day, the NFC East, out of the laughing stock that they started, 2 playoff teams. Remember that.
Yeah.
Wow, their division's on the way up, too. I mean, outside of the Giants, who are kind of lost, you know, Washington just needs a quarterback. Philly's got 3 first-round picks, and Dallas is playing well, so.
We've been saying Washington needs a quarterback since I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't know if necessarily they'll get one.
They never get one.
Well, technically the Giants are on the way up. I mean, you start from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You can only go up.
Yeah,
there's not much lower you can get. Listen, they took a step in the right direction.
They got rid of the coach, so.
Yeah, exactly what Sir said.
Yep. All right, so you can follow us at SPFS Show on Twitter and Twitch. Thanks for tuning in this week to talk all things Super Wildcard Weekend. But before we get into that, Scott, do you guys have any shows lined up, any guests coming down the pike? And then I did want to pick your brain a little bit because you did drop the episode with Evan Roberts, and I know I watched it. I'll let Tim and Sir, say if they watched it, but it was a great show. Anything from Evan Roberts behind the scenes? How was he as a guest? And what do you have coming down the line?
First with Evan, it was really cool. He came on as someone we obviously all loved listening to growing up and to this day. He was actually more, in the nicest way, I'll say, he was less nerdy as he comes off. And I know he prides himself on being a nerd, so I'm not insulting him. He was actually more outgoing and cooler and dropping not F-bombs but cursing. You could sit at a bar with him, it felt like. So it was really cool. Yeah, other than that, we got on, I just interviewed a battle rapper from UK, Kruger, who made a rap song to the Steamed Ham Simpsons thing. I don't know if you saw that, Nick. It went viral 6 months ago, but he does shit like that. So I have him coming on, and then Saturday we're doing the Simpsons writer Bill Oakley again. He's coming on Saturday in the afternoon, and then just random stuff after that.
That's cool.
Scott, real quick, did you see your boy Cody Hamra won his grappling match against? Of
course he did.
Wow. I mean, that was a legit UFC fighter that he beat. That's Kevin Holland, right? That's amazing.
Yeah, good for him. Awesome dude. Known him since we were 7. So, nice guy too. So hopefully he just keeps going.
So we're going to forego the Week 18 recap, although I think we all did pretty well, actually, from a betting standpoint in Week 18. Pretty predictable week in a lot of ways. Unfortunately, the Jets could not cover the 17 for me, which was disappointing because it was a push. But that's Buffalo. That's the 4th time they did that. That was the whole reason why I picked them, is because Buffalo they don't blow teams away, and you have your line the entire game, and then within the last 5 minutes, all of a sudden it falls apart. But first thing I wanted to do was, we at Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets had a pre-show for the NFL season where we picked our Super Bowl winners, or at least our Super Bowl teams that we thought were going to make it to the Super Bowl. And truth be told, all 4 of us are still in it at this point because both of our teams are playoff teams that we picked. So what I wanted to do first was kind of go around the room. And do you want to buy or sell the playoff matchup, the Super Bowl matchup that you guys set out way back when we did our prediction show in probably late August? So, Sir, we'll start with you. Are you buying or selling your Super Bowl prediction?
Hey man, listen, I gotta keep it, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's still alive. I can't bet against my boy. I had my boys, and I think I had the Chiefs as well. Chiefs is a solid team on the AFC, and my boys, if they make it, they got a tough road. I mean, so but I can't bet against them.
Okay, Tim.
I have no choice but to sell. I don't care if it's Tom Brady and it's in the playoffs. I'm betting against Tom. Might be a stupid move by me, but you can't predict injuries. I mean, potentially getting Leonard Fournette back is a huge boost. You know, how healthy is he is going to make a big difference in how far Tampa Bay is going to go. But for right now, I got to sell. I had Tampa Bay against Kansas City, a repeat of last year. I'm not sure it's been a while since that's happened, if it's ever happened. So right now I'm selling, but we'll see.
What would if you're selling it, what are you buying now? What are your gun to your head? What's your Super Bowl matchup?
I want to see the Rams against the Chiefs.
Okay.
That would make me that's like insider trading, because I have both those team bets in to win the Super Bowl. So if that's the case, I will be one happy camper hoping that my boxes hit for extra money.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. And sir, just to be clear, you had the 49ers and the Chiefs. That was your
Actually, I don't know if I picked NFC. I think I just picked AFC. But all right.
Well, that's how it works.
Only
right.
because picking the other team is kind of, I'm not picking against it. So, but I think I just picked the Chiefs and says,
All right, fair enough. Scott, what was yours?
Bills Rams. I would have to sell because I just think everyone's saying the AFC is wide open. I really think the Chiefs are above everybody. I don't think anyone's going to beat them. I think only 3 teams can get there in the NFC. But that's also just dependent on matchups. I think the Niners could beat the Cowboys this week, but if the Cowboys beat the Niners, I think the Cowboys are the only team that could go into Lambeau and beat the Packers. So, like, if I had to buy, I would take Packers Chiefs. That's like, it sounds so cheesy, but I just think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission.
No pun intended about the cheese head. I got you.
Yeah.
I am going to buy mine. Mine was the Packers and the Bills. I understand the Chiefs sentiment, and it seems like you guys all have the Chiefs. To me, I don't know. There's just something about, I just can never, anytime Bill Belichick's in the playoffs, I just have a tough time betting against him. And then you have Buffalo. So to me, I think the winner of that matchup would be my favorite to win this or to go to the Super Bowl. So I think it's either the Pats or the Bills. I had the Bills before the season. I had Green Bay. They're the number 1 seed. So I feel good about that, although we know what's happened the last couple of years. So I will buy and stay with my Green Bay Packers, Buffalo Bills Super Bowl, which I think would be an entertaining Super Bowl. So you have the Bills who, haven't won and lost the 4 in a row and all that stuff. And then you also have Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers only won once. I think that'd be an interesting Super Bowl there. So
really quick, Nick, aside from the tickets, the only way the Cowboys could meet the Packers in the NFC Championships, I already have a hotel booked near Lambeau Field. I have a rent-a-car booked from the Milwaukee airport, and I am ready to go if it does happen in a couple weeks. I will be meeting my cousin out there from Toronto who is a Packer fan. So I am going if it is an NFC Championship game in Lambeau. Now, if they lose Sunday, I just cancel everything, and that's that. But I'm booking it just so I don't have to worry about it. So.
All right.
Truth be told, if the Jets ever get to the playoffs again in my lifetime, I think I will also. And I don't like going to football games too often, but I'll make an exception for that.
Yeah.
In 2052, no problem. I just have to be alive that long. It's crazy.
All right. Well, so you got our Super Bowl predictions and where we think we are headed. Scott, obviously, we will. Throw kudos to Tim. Tim was the regular season winner for the picks, but we will move right into our pick segment. Tim actually, so it was Tim. I beat Tim last year, but Tim and I were in the finals, and Tim finally squeaking one out, and I obviously did not have a great year. So Tim won. Tim, do you have anything to say?
I'm the best.
All right, and Scott. So we had. No, I'm just kidding. So what are you gonna say?
Nothing. I was just gonna brag a little bit, but your comeback was much funnier, Nick. Go fuck yourself. I mean, continue, Mr. Host.
Collectively, as a group of four this year, we went 132, 22, and 6. I think that's pretty good.
Say that one more time.
132, 22, and 6. We did pretty well.
How were we 110 games over 500?
Unless my math's wrong.
Your math is very wrong. I think I lost 26 games myself.
No, 132, 132, 132, 132, 122, and 6.
There you go.
All right.
I think I said that. Maybe I.
No, you didn't.
Nah, man.
You said 132, 22,
120.
and 6.
All right. So we were 10 games over 500 with 6 ties. That's pretty good.
I will tell you right now, if the four of us were 110 games over 500, none of our backgrounds would look like this because they would all just
exactly.
Yeah, it would all be dollars just lined up as our background. And for what it's worth, man, I did happen to look at what the ESPN expert bettors were, that they literally post their records, and even our worst guy, don't know who that is. Even our worst guy is better than their best guy.
Yeah.
So that's saying something. Yeah. That's saying that it's not very easy to bet or easy to predict. I mean, but
saying that analysts,
guy who won,
experts are worthless.
Yeah,
experts are worthless, pretty much.
Well, ESPN experts are, but anyway. Scott, why don't you hit us with the music, and why don't you break down the matchups?
All right. Well, coming up first, Tim, by the way, you finished 38, 25, and 2. That was awesome, by the way. All right, so the first matchup on Saturday night, I guess we're starting new records in the playoffs here. We're going to go Vegas at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a -5 with the over-under at 48.5.
Sir, why don't you start?
Yeah, why not? All right. You know what? Give me the over 48.5 in this matchup. This is probably one of my favorite bets on the weekend, to be honest with you. Like, Bengals can put up some points, the Raiders can put up some points. Both defenses are nothing special. I think Joe Burrow's gonna have a big day through the air because Raiders can stop the run, but they are trash against the pass. So I look for Burrow to have a good day, and that could be a spoiler. Who knows?
Tim?
I have a really big problem with benching your starters the last week of the season, and because of that, I'm going Vegas, getting 5 points. For whatever reason or somehow, they just won't go away. They keep every game pretty close, and they went backdoor into the playoffs. I could see it coming down to a field goal game, and I'll take Vegas either winning or losing by 3. So I'll take the 5 points and run with it.
Yeah, I'm going to share Sir's sentiment. I liked it a lot and hit the over. I liked it a lot more. I think the opening line was Raiders getting 6.5, and I love that at the opening line. Now it looks like that's been bet down. Obviously, a lot of other people liked it too because the number's been bet down to 5, and at 5, I'm not really sure. So these two teams played earlier. They played on November 21st, and the final score was the Bengals 32 and the Raiders 13. And I understand the week off with the Bengals resting their guys. I get all that. Time will tell whether it was a smart move or a bad move. I think with rookie players and a lot of young players, I just don't think they care. I think they have a lot of swagger. They were not predicted to win that division at all. I didn't see anybody who had them any higher than 3rd or 4th. So I think that they're going to have their swagger. They're going to be playing hard. I don't think they're going to have trouble holding up their end of the bargain to the 48. So it really comes down to, will the Raiders hold up their end of the bargain? And they're playing pretty well too. They've been playing a lot of close games. I don't think anybody really thought they were going to beat outright the Chargers, but they did. So I'll hit the over 48. That's my bet. I don't know if I have a side in the game. Scott, what do you like?
I'm gonna go with Tim here. Vegas +5. As I said, I don't like when a young team benches their players. Also, too, it was 32-13, but if I recall, that game was real close in the fourth. It came down to some controversial fumble or something like that. But
it was 13-6 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then all hell broke loose. So I like the Raiders, man. I've been riding the Raiders all year. I even picked them earlier in the season versus the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I bet on them Sunday night, even though I picked against them on the show. I just felt like, fuck it. So
way to hedge your picks, old boy.
Yeah, I'd rather win money than this. So so I like Vegas +5.
You don't want to tell the viewers that that incentive bonus you gave me for winning? We're not gonna. Sarah and Nick, you guys didn't hear? You didn't hear about it? Sorry, Scott.
Go fuck yourself. So yeah, I'll take Vegas +5. Next game, the very cold, the Saturday night game. Apparently, it's gonna be 3 degrees. A game that, if you're a football fan, I know people say you're crazy going to. This is a game I'd want to go to if I'm a Bills fan. That vibe, the environment is real cool. Buffalo -4 versus New England at home, over 44.
So I'm just pulling up the weather now because I do think it matters. And the reason why is because we saw what happened in their first matchup, right? So you looked at their first matchup, 14-10 win for the Patriots. Not a lot of passes completed. That was back on December 6th. They did play a couple weeks later. Obviously, the Bills won that matchup 33-21, and that was the day after Christmas. So they've already played twice. A lot of running. Damian Harris had a great game. What was the line for this one?
4. Buffalo -4.
Okay. And the over-under?
44.
All right. So just one minor note. If you are a DraftKings better, there is basically an odds boost, a hammer the over promo that they're running right now on this matchup, where every 5,000 people that bet, it drops 1 percentage point lower, and I think currently sitting at 30 or 29.5, but it's going to continue to go down. In short, this number is going to go.
Money.
Yeah, this is going to be an easy. Don't look at the 30 and be like, well, it could, the final score could be 15-10. I think at the time the game starts, when they end this,
it'll be probably less than 1. It'll be
yeah.
Once 1 point is scored, you're
exactly. The first point in summation is going to be easy money. So that being said, I think it's a field goal game. I know, Buffalo, the atmosphere was electric. It seemed even against the Jets last week. It's going to be even more fired up. Those fans want to see a winner. But Bill Belichick is the definition of one. And to me, I'll bet the field goal game. I'll take New England +4. Sir, what do you got?
Yeah, it's tough to bet against Bill Belichick, especially in the postseason. I said, give me the Patriots +4. I said, Belichick is 32-11 against the Bills. Granted, he had Tom Brady for most of them. He's got Mac Jones now, but still. An interesting note, underdogs of 7 or fewer points are 28-14-1 in wildcard rounds since 2003. So, underdogs could come up and sneak some people.
Now, sir, that's an interesting point, but you know what that matters on Saturday night? Not a goddamn thing. The eye test showed me that if it wasn't a fucking snowstorm in a blizzard, one team is considerably better than the other. So
it's going to be cold, though, bro.
With that being said, give me Buffalo -4. Sir, if I win, you're going through a table next week, Mo. You're going to drop an elbow right off the table. You're going to be in Bill's Mafia if I take this down.
This isn't the wrestling podcast. This is the sports podcast.
Freddie,
the professor.
I'm with Tim again, lockstep. Give me Buffalo -4. I think I know New England had a good year, but they still have that stigma around Belichick. Like, they're scared of him, and the lines tend not to be as big because he has the aura around him. I think Buffalo wins this game 20-10, 20-13 and cover. They're just better. There's a chance to stomp out Big Brother and be like, all right, it's on time. Even though divisions they've won, but to beat them in the playoffs really sends a message. So yeah, Buffalo -4. Moving on to the Philadelphia Tampa Bay game, 1:00 Sunday. Philly +9.5 at Tampa, the over 46. I guess I'll start with this one, Nick. It's supposed to be a rainstorm, which I think levels the playing field a bit. Like a nice Tampa Bay monsoon, and with an athletic quarterback like Hurts, I think the Eagles cover this number. They lost them by 6 only after making it a game after being down by a lot on a Thursday night earlier this year. I mean, Patrick Cox could get pressure on Brady, make him uncomfortable. I'm not saying that Tampa Bay can't lose this game, but this is one I wouldn't be shocked if he gets a bit dicey in the fourth quarter, and I think Hurts might throw like a pick when it matters. But yeah, like I think they're going to cover here. Maybe 24-16, 24-17. So give me Philly plus 9.5.
Scott, I'm supposed to go first because you're supposed to pick the same game as me. I'm not supposed to pick the same game as you. You didn't get it, but the Eagles' run game, I think, keeps this game a lot closer. You know, even better that it's a rainstorm, right? You know, it tends to lead more to runs. So you know, maybe the under is a good bet too. But right now, I think the Eagles keep it a lot closer than everyone thinks. I think it's, you know, a touchdown game. You know. But the fact that we're 3 for 3 on bets, Scott, means we are probably in trouble. But that's okay.
Yeah, but hey, we finished 1 and 2. Maybe we're coming together. Right? Like it's happening.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys are necessarily in trouble unless Sir and I start to agree with you. And so far we haven't. Me and Sir have agreed on everything. So I don't necessarily know what that means for us, but I'm also taking Philly plus 8.5. The one thing I would say is if you like Philly plus 8.5, take it now.
9.5 right now.
So I got Barstool 8.5. I'm sorry, if it's 9.5, then it's even bigger. But I would take that now. I wouldn't wait until game day. There's nothing more you need to know about the game. Rainstorm, 86% chance of rain, 20 to 30 mile an hour winds. The running benefits Philly. I think if they have to force the Eagles to throw the ball, that's where they can run into trouble. The last time they played, you know, the Eagles got it closer by covering, I think, a late touchdown. Jalen Hurts, 2 rushing touchdowns the last time they played. Antonio Brown and Leonard Fournette made up for 160 or 170 yards and I think 3 or 4 touchdowns against Philly. We already know Antonio Brown is not going to be there. Leonard Fournette designated to return from IR, so he should. And we know Tom Brady, when he gets a running back he trusts, that's the guy that's playing. So I don't care Gio Bernard. I don't care Ronald Jones. Leonard Fournette's going to be the guy getting the rock. Philly fans on game day tend to bet their team heavy and drive the number down. So again, if you like Philly now, take it now. Don't wait because the number, I think, will go down. But I like Philly plus 9.5. I think, you know, even if they lose, if they keep the game close, I mean, they're playing with house money anyway, but, you know, as a fan, if they keep the game close, even if they lose, I feel like in a lot of ways it's a win because, you know, the sentiment around Philly is that they didn't beat anybody good, and maybe that's true, but if they get blown out by a good team, then, you know, I think, you know, they have their point more valid than if they lose a close game. If they lose a close game, they lost a close game to the reigning defending Super Bowl champs. They have 3 first-round picks the next year. And some money to spend. So I think they're in a good spot. But I'm going Philly as well. Sir, is Philly going all 4? Is all 4, or are you going to take the over-under, or are you taking Tampa?
See, I was torn on this one. I was actually thinking about taking Tampa, but I'm going to have to go with the rainstorm. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go under 46. Like, no disrespect about Philly. Like, yeah, they started off the season slow, and then they finished off with 6-2 in the last 8. But did you all see the competition they were playing? They played the Giants twice. They played They played the Jets. They played Washington. Like they didn't really play nobody to finish off the season. I mean, and when they play playoff teams, they usually took it on the chin. So I don't know, but I said with the rainstorm, you kind of talked me into taking the under on this one.
Nice. All right, the 4:30 game Sunday, which everyone's saying is the best game on the entire slate, which means, lo and behold, it'll probably be a 38-10 blowout one way or another, and it'll be the worst game of the weekend. That's normally how this works. We have the rivalry renewed, San Fran at Dallas. Little note, the past 10 times they've played, not including they haven't played in the playoffs since 93 or 94. Last 10 times they've played, the Cowboys are 7-3 versus San Fran, which actually is a higher number than I thought. So we got Dallas -3 at home with the over-under 50.5. I guess Nick started.
So at 3, it's tough. What's the over-under?
50.5, which I think is kind of high.
Yeah. Man, this is a tough game. I would also bet, when looking at the matchups, I thought this would be the most entertaining game on the slate. I still think it's going to be the most entertaining game on the slate. I'll preface what I'm going to say is I'm least confident in this game, and if the number ever gets to 2, then I'd be all over Dallas. But at 3, it's a tough bet, and 50's a lot of points. I do think there's going to be a lot of points scored, though. I mean, Deebo Samuel is just absolutely unbelievable. Jimmy G's playing well, but Dak's offense is just electric, and he's playing better. At least he played better against Philly. Their backups and everything, but threw the ball really well. I'm gonna go with the over. I could see it being like a 30, 30, 33, 34, something up there, and then 28 somewhere. Get me the over on this game.
Tim goes, so me and Sir could go last.
That's perfect by me. Nick, over 50.5 is my bet as well. The teams averaged combined 60 points in their last 5 games. So both teams are putting up points. I know Dallas had 2 big numbers. Even if you eliminate those numbers, their combined is still right around 50. I see both teams scoring, and I think 50.5 is, you say it's high. I don't think it's high enough. I thought it would be a little tick higher, seeing as both teams are playing really, really good football.
Yeah, the reason I think it's high is because I think in these, especially a lot of pressures on rivalry games in the playoffs. I think a lot of teams start out timid, and like the first quarter you might see like a boxing fight where they're just testing each other out. So I was thinking something along the lines 24-20. I'm going to play the homer card here. I'm just going to be honest about it. I'm just going to go Dallas -3. No reason. I think this is one of the hardest matchups for Dallas, but I don't think anything matters. Throw everything out. I know when Dallas rushes for 100 yards, they're like 9-1, and the Niners have let up 100 yards the last 9 games. You know what that means? Fucking nothing. Like absolutely nothing. Just throw it out. But I do think you're going to see more Tony Pollard in this game than Zeke. I think they're going to make the transformation that they did with Marion Barber and Julius Jones around that 07-08 era. I think that speed is necessary for Dallas, and Zeke doesn't have the same pop. And I think Pollard's going to be in that game more than people think. But I'm going to go Dallas -3. Sir.
Scott, I think you misspoke, actually. You said the Niners have given up a 100-yard rusher, and
I don't know.
They have not allowed a 100-yard rusher.
They have not. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, yeah. So, absolutely nothing to me. Yeah, that's
like they stop the run and they run the football. And
right.
Your boys are a little suspect against the run, so it's going to come down to who can impose their will. But give me the over 50.5. I'm not picking sides because I'm not jinxing my boys. So just give me the over. Let's hope for points. Hopefully, I don't have a heart attack by halftime. So
don't do that either, because I got to fucking give CPR. I love you, but I don't love you that much. 3 of the last 4 matches between these two teams have gone over the total. So when these two teams get together, points are scored.
At the end of the day, it's 1 week more of football, and even though it sucks when you lose, I just want football season to extend. So, I hate when it ends. All right, next game, the Sunday night game. Pittsburgh, who I personally think is the worst team in the entire playoffs. Pittsburgh at Kansas City, -12.5 with the over 45.5. Since I said that, I'll go. I don't think they belong here. I think everything broke their way possible. If you watch their offenses, I had a couple fantasy players on the wide receivers. They are horrible on offense, Pittsburgh. They're fucking horrible. Ben threw 48 times one game for 110 yards. They don't go down the field anymore. He's got nothing left. God bless him for getting in one final hurrah. I think Kansas City blows their doors off. I know we've discussed this for the show. 12.5 is low to me. I don't even think it's a lot of points. I think it's going to be a 30-13 game, 30-10 game. So give me Kansas City -12.5.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott. It's the first time that we're going to disagree.
All right.
I mean, a team that, essentially is kind of like the Eagles in some respects, where they're just playing with house money at this point. I'll tell you what, they're not going to give up playing for Ben in what potentially could be his final game. Do I think they're going to win? I don't, but I just think 12.5 for it being the playoffs. Normally playoff games are played a little bit closer. Everyone's playing a little bit harder for obvious reasons. I don't know, something about it. Just if Pittsburgh can run the football, Najee Harris is easily the best player on offense for them. I mean, Deontay Johnson is probably 1A if you want to categorize it like that. But I just something Pittsburgh's defense, T.J. Watt. There's something about it. I just like Pittsburgh plus 12.5.
They did play a few weeks ago. I think Kansas City beat the crap out.
Kansas City, yeah, they beat them by 20, but that's fine. That's
and
not,
it wasn't even that close.
Yeah.
36,
I believe it was like 30-0 at half or something like that.
36-10 was the final. It was the day after Christmas, but I'm not going to really elaborate much more than to what Tim said. They're playing harder. With Ben's final run, the last 2 weeks they played really well. It's just really hard to blow out a team twice. I mean, especially if one of those teams is a playoff team. To Scott's point, yeah, Pittsburgh's probably the worst of all the playoff teams, with Big Ben being older, but Mike Tomlin's probably one of the best coaches in the playoffs. I think he'll figure it out. Do I think they'll win? No. But I'll take 12.5 points with Pittsburgh, no doubt. I feel really good about that game, too.
Yeah. Normally, I recommend taking Mike Tomlin as a dog, but not in this case. Sorry, Big Ben. You had a good career, but it's a wrap for you. Give me KC minus 12. Home favorites of double-digit favorites at home are 5-0 against the spread since 2003. So it's been proven that big home favorites have covered.
So you are definitely attending Big Ben's farewell party, retirement party.
Listen, if you put that out there where it's a retirement party at Arrowhead, you've got to go out there and beat the brakes off them. You can't just come in.
Better put that shit on the bulletin board.
You know what I'm saying? You give it a bulletin.
That's where that went.
Nah, man, you gotta put your foot on their throat.
Hey, you said Big Ben's last game. It's a good thing the Dolphins showed up for Marino's last game in 1999.
I know.
It was 63-7, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think it matters.
Win paper. Nah, fam. See you later, old boy.
63-7. Get the fuck out.
Sorry, Mr. E, but it's going to be a rough one for you.
All right, last game, the Monday night game, which I hate until Monday night comes, and then I'm gonna be so happy football's on. It's gonna be one of those things. So we got last game, Arizona +4 at LA, over 48.5. So I'll start with this one. I like the Rams -4 here. I don't think the Cardinals are that good, even though they're better on the road. I just think it's time for the Rams to really step up and show that they're real. I think Stafford has a good game. I can see 27-20. So I'll go Rams -4 in this game. I don't think the Cardinals are ready yet, as I eat my words when they come to Dallas in a week and beat the team that I like, probably. So I'll go LA. If we beat the Niners, I'll go LA Rams -4.
Scott, I'm in the same sentiment as you. I just think the Rams are a better team. I mean, we say it every week, but once you lose a player like DeAndre Hopkins, it just it just takes a big hit on your team. And to be honest, I'm a little homerish because I want the Rams to be in the Super Bowl. So I think they're going to win by a touchdown, just like they did the last time they played. You got Odell Beckham, you got Cooper Kupp, that offense is going to put up points. And if they could stop Kyler from moving around in the pocket, it should be an easy game.
This is a game where I'd be betting props. I'll be super quick. I don't have a good read for this game. This isn't a game that I'm going to bet, but for the sake of the show, -4, I'll take the Rams as well.
I don't trust either one of these teams on the real.
Yeah,
Arizona's been looking different without Hopkins. The Rams came limping in. Stafford's got to prove that he can play in the postseason. He's 0-3 in his career in the postseason. You traded Jared Goff but Stafford's a better physical quarterback, but mentally he's the same as Jared Goff. So, with that being said, give me over 48.5. 4 of the last 5 matchups have gone over the total between these two teams, including both games this season. So, give me the over.
That's it for the picks, Nick.
All right, let's run through our DFS lineups then. And obviously for DFS, we're going to run through all three. We're not doing a Sunday one, a Saturday one, or Saturday one, a Sunday one, and a Monday one. We're combining them all. Of course, if we set up lineups for each day, we'll post them out to the site so you guys have an idea of what we're thinking. But we're going to play all of them. Scott, why don't you start?
Right. All right. So QB, I'll actually go Mahomes 7,400. And then running backs, Josh Jacobs 6,500, and I'm gonna do Tony Pollard 5,300. Wide receivers, I'll pair Mahomes with Tyreek Hill 7,100, Amari Cooper 5,900, Odell Beckham 5,100. My flex will be Singletary 5,700. Tight end, I'm gonna go with Dallas Goedert versus Tampa Bay, and I'm gonna go with the Philly defense just because of that whole rainstorm. Cheap 2,500. I don't think a lot of points will be scored there, so that's mine.
Tim, what do you got?
Well, you guys don't trust the Rams. I do. I'm going all in. That means give me Stafford at 6,500. The last time they played, he threw for 3 touchdowns. That would be perfect in DFS for me. I'm pairing him with Cooper Kupp. That's the automatic. It doesn't matter if they know it's coming. No one can apparently stop him from catching the football. And with that being said, I'm going to go cheap on my running back, and I'm from that same game, and I'm going to take Cam Akers. He passes Week 18, little trial run to see if he was back healthy from that Achilles injury, and I think he's ready for the full load. He's obviously the freshest of any of the running backs that they have, and I just have a feeling that they're going to try to get him the ball. Also, and this is where it might change, I'm going to take Chase Edmonds right now at 5K, being very heavy on that same game. I might switch that and put James Conner in, depending on which one's going to play. But right now, it looks like Edmonds is the choice. At wide receiver 2, give me T. Higgins against Las Vegas. To be honest, I filled out every other spot, and he was the best guy I could fit in this spot. So that's why I picked him. Wide receiver 3, I'm taking Brandon Ayuk 5,400 against Dallas, just coming off a 100-yard game, a game that potentially, with my bet, I'm hoping the over hits. He's the number 1 receiver. Sorry, Debo, you're the running back now. Jimmy G likes to throw him the ball, so I'll take that at wide receiver 3. My tight end, I agree with Scott. I'm taking Dallas Goedert against Tampa Bay. His last 4 starts, he's averaging 18 fantasy points a game. It's pretty good in my book for a tight end at that price. And flex, Travis Kelce, 6,700 against Pittsburgh. It's Travis Kelce. And defense, give me the Steelers, the cheapest defense against Kansas City. I'll take TJ Watt for the cheapest price possible.
Sir?
All right, I mentioned it before, but at quarterback, give me Joe Burrow, 6,800. The Raiders are not very good against the pass. I mean, they're great against the run, but they can't stop the pass. So give me Joe Burrow. To pair with him, I went Jamar Chase, 7,400. He's Jamar Chase. The last 2 weeks, he's been absolutely cooking defenses. Along with, give me T. Higgins as well, 6,300. At running back, give me Sony Michel, 5,400. Like, he's been getting about 25 touches every game between, out of the backfield, dump-offs. To pair with him, I went Eli Mitchell, 5,500. As Sanford's going to, they're going to run the football. It's what they do. So that's some touches right there. Wide receiver 3, let me get Zay Jones, 4,200. He's been playing good. He's been getting a lot of receptions. Like, just hopefully he could turn him into something, but he's been getting involved in that offense. Tight end, give me Travis Kelce. As Sick mentioned, he's Travis Kelce, second best tight end in football. At the flex, give me Dalton Schultz, 5K. For some reason, tight ends have been getting busy on the Niners defense for some reason. Higbee went off like last week. And our defense, give me the Rams, 2,700. I don't know. It's just a cheap defense, and maybe, as I said, with no Hopkins, their offense has been looking pretty predictable. So hopefully maybe Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey could do something, pay off that salary.
So I'm going quarterback. I think some of my lineup might change given the weather information that we've been given in this show. But starting out, I'm going quarterback Jalen Hurts. I think Joe Burrow is a great pick too, but I think Joe Burrow's had 70 fantasy points in the last 2 weeks. Every single person is going to, and 1 out of 3 people are going to have Joe Burrow in their lineup. And if you're going to win, you want to differentiate from everybody. It would be my only thought process as to why I'm not going to pick him. I could certainly see Joe Burrow being the number 1. I'm taking Jalen Hurts, like I mentioned earlier, 2 rushing touchdowns against Tampa. It's going to be, maybe the rainy game helps a little bit. He's going to be running the ball. That's solely responsible for why I think he's going to be a good pick. 26 fantasy points last time he played, or the only time he played Tampa. Leonard Fournette, 5,900. This is solely based on what I mentioned earlier. Again, that he's designated for return, and if he doesn't play, then changes need to be made in my lineup. But Tom Brady wants a guy he can trust, and he can trust Leonard Fournette. So 5,900 for Leonard Fournette, who beat the Eagles up the last time they played. I think makes a lot of sense. Damian Harris is my running back 2, 6,400. Based solely on the fact that he had a great game in both games against Buffalo the last time they've played, both times they played, I should say. Wide receivers, one guy that I've actually been pretty impressed with since the Gallup injury is Cedric Wilson, who's taken over the slot position and seems like he's been playing really, really well. And again, abused the Eagles secondary. That was mainly, backups, but Cedric Wilson, I think, is a great pick at 4,400 to score a touchdown, and get some points there for the price. I'm just absolutely in love with Deebo Samuel, 8,100. I mean, I obviously didn't watch him as much as I had him on one fantasy team. But watching the game last week, I mean, the guy is just always open. He's just absolutely a stud. Great pick from your general manager. But 8,100, I love Deebo Samuel. And I'm going Odell Beckham Jr., 5,100. I probably regret this in a minute. I said it, but, his first playoff game, while he played, did he play last year or was he hurt during Cleveland's playoff game?
I don't even remember.
Anybody remember?
Yeah.
I don't remember. If he did play, I don't know if he really had much of an impact. That being said, I think he's a primetime player who shows up, when it matters, or at least tries to. So, and it looks like Stafford really likes to throw to him. So, I could see Odell Beckham having a game. So give me him at 5,100. Dawson Knox has a touchdown against New England already. 4,800 seems like, right there. I'm just looking for a touchdown to get that. And I'm going something a little obscure. A lot of lineups have, your flex position with a running back or your flex position with a wide receiver. I'm taking Rob Gronkowski at 6,400 in my flex spot. The Eagles got absolutely torched by tight ends. I think the first touchdown of the game, the last time Tampa Bay and the Eagles played, was O.J. Howard's, which was a plus, I'm sure. First touchdown score, at least 2,000, 3,000. But Gronk wasn't playing in that game. He came back from his injury. He started out a little slow, but his last 2 games cleared 100 yards both games. Gronk, I think, is a great pick. If the Eagles are going to beat Tampa Bay, they're going to have to figure out a way to stop Rob Gronkowski. And for defense, I'm taking the 49ers, 2,800. Just they play strong. They play tough. They gave up 27 or they gave up 24 points last week and still got 9 fantasy points. So, Dallas could put up some points and the return on investment for the 49ers could still be there. I might change it because of the rain again. These DFS lineups are tough 3 days before the game, 2 days before the game, 4 days before the game. But for right now, that's my lineup, 2,800 with the 49ers, and I'm feeling pretty good about that.
All right.
Anything else from anybody?
That's it for me. Enjoy the
fun. Well, next week, one of our teams is advancing. So
yeah, that's true.
There will be somebody on this show that will be very happy. Maybe 2 people, but.
So if the Eagles lose, that means Nick's not going to show up again next week? Like, how does this work?
You never know. We'll find out.
I guess it depends on the final score.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, till next week. See you guys.
Well, yeah, absolutely, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks for tuning in. Check our Twitter because we'll be dropping some prop bets throughout the playoffs.